Today we are going to learn the inventory control module that is under the operations research. For the MCA, the name of this paper is Operations Research and Optimization Technique. And for the BTech, the name is, for BTech, the paper name is Operations Research and code is CS505A. But for the MCA, that is the code is MCA304. Now today's module is the 7, that is the inventory control. Lecture is 34 for the CS computer science paper CS505A, and for the paper code MCA304 module is the 7 inventory control. Lecture is the 32. Now we are start to the inventory control. So what is called the inventory control? Inventory means the stock about the item. We are going to study the stock of item. It is not the easy matter. So many things are related with this. We are going to study, rather than we can say we are going to learn that all the things related to the step by step, and one by one, as soon as we learn the things, then we move to the next article. What are the things we learn under this inventory control? That is the types of the inventory, variables in inventory problem, that is the what are the variables related to this the inventory control module, factors, what are the factors related to that, and also we can say the during the analysis of the inventory. That is the two models is there. One is the deterministic model, another is the probabilistic model. Under the deterministic model, two model is there. One model we are considering the without shortage. Shortage means during the production, when the production is going on, whatever the materials we need during the production, never be shortage. That means stores, when the production department demanding the product to the stores, they cannot say that that product is not available. That means it is supply instantaneously as soon as the production department demanding the product for the production, the particular item, those are items are involved to produce that particular item. Another model is the shortage. These two models are both at the deterministic model. The shortage, so during the production, the shortage is allowed. That means somehow it is found that during the production, some items or few items are not in a stock. So during that time, the production should be stopped, and loss is related to that, and lot of the things related to that. When you going through the study of the shortage model or cost related to that, then we will learn what are the costs related to that with this model that we learn. And probabilistic model, that is the instead of the determination, it is given the probability of the demand of the material, and it is the two type. One is the discrete probability distribution, another is the continuous probability distribution is given. With the help of that, we have to calculate with the help of the probabilistic demand. Now we are entering into the slowly in the inventory control. Now we are going to learn what is the inventory control. Introduction. What is inventory? What is inventory control? So everyone have the questions that what is the inventory and what is the inventory control? That is the two things is that inventory, then the inventory control. Unless until the inventory exists, what we do and what to we control. and when to order, when the inventory is there, when to order, how much to order, what is the minimum total cost. All the things are basic question is that related to the inventory control. When to be ordered, how much to be ordered, and what is the minimum cost. These two questions is the most important. How much to order or when to order. And always we have to think that total cost we have to minimize. Total cost means that is the part of the cost is there that we learn step by step. The inventory means a stock of any kind of resource. Resource means that is the item. Item may be any object or any types of the commodity. And economic value and the fulfills the present and the future needs. That means that item, that object, we can call it object. That means the which have the properties and have the economic value and which we are using in the present. Already we used in our the past life and also we are going to use in the future life. And the organization, it may be also for the home use also. Fred Henspan defined the inventory as an idle resource of any kind provided such as the resources has the economic value. Normally we are inventory we are keeping in our stock. When we are using we require, then we are going to use that the item, but it has an economic value. It may consist of the raw materials, work in progress, spare parts, consumables, finished and semi-finished goods, human resources such as unutilized labor, financial resources such as the working capital, etc. Now, I am discussing little bit here. When we are producing a product or producing that the product that is we are calling as a finished goods. That finished goods when we are producing, we need some materials. For the one product, if we consider the 10 materials in need to produce that the product, whatever that 10 materials we need, we have to check that in a stock or not. And when that product we are selling directly to the market or the customer, then it is the finished goods. Some process in between when we are producing the goods, in between some process is there, that is known as the work in progress. And spare parts is our the raw material. When we are making a machinery, what are the parts we are using? Consumable, that means whatever the things we are consume every day in our life. Finish and semi-finish. When the goods are directly sold in the market or supplied to the one customer to the another customer, one company is selling to the another company directly, then it is the finished goods. But some finished goods may be the semi-finished when they are using for own consumable to produce the another product. Suppose in a bottle, when we are it is using in a bottling plant to fill the liquid, then it is a bottle is the semi-finished product. When that bottle directly sell to the market, then it is a finished goods. Human resource also are the resource. That is also we can call as a item. Utilize labor, financial resources such as the working capital, etc. So we are more discussing that the working capital later on. Different organizations face the problem to manage the inventories. What are the different scientific techniques or methods are used to manage the inventories are known as the inventory control. So to manage the inventory, some company or we can call it the most of the company facing that the problem to manage that inventory, and what are the scientific method we are using to manage that the inventory, or to handle that the different inventory, different types of inventory, that is known as the inventory control. The basic inventory discussions include, I mean, when we are discussing the inventory, what are the points is include. That means when we are producing a product in our the production planning, or it is going to produce, or in the plan for the production, then we need the raw materials. That raw materials we have to order. So during the order, how much to be ordered and when to be ordered, that more questions will be arises. And we have to think always what would be our total minimum cost, not the only item cost. Lots of the costs are involved to the production, related to the production or producing the finished goods. So when we are going to produce a finished goods, raw materials is needed. That raw materials we have to place order to produce that, and also how much to be ordered, and that is the big question, how much to be ordered and when to be ordered, to minimize is our total cost. Objective of the inventory control. Whatever the things we already discussed, that is comes again in a step by step. To minimize the total or actual or expected cost, or minimize the actual or expected profit. Two things we are doing. When it is cost related, we try to minimize it, and when it is profit related, then we try to maximize. That means during the production, we are thinking about the cost minimization thing. Or when we are going to sell in the market, that time we are thinking about the profit maximization. To minimize the possibility of delay, that means as soon as we got the order, that is a agreement with that the purchase company, that means we are going to supply this product, this much product, it may be 1 lakh unit, 2 lakh unit, 50,000 unit, 20,000 unit, to be delivered within the 5 days, which company placed that order. If it is the delayed anyway, then few things are related to that, and that few things is the major effect in the company. During the delay, goodwill will be lost, profit will be lost. Some customers go to the leaving this company to the other company. This is the one way. Another way, those suppliers are supplying the raw material. If it is the delay, production will be hampered. When the production will be hampered, they cannot supply that the product to the, those are place their order to purchasing that the finished goods. To keep inactive, waste, surplus, scrap and obsolete items at the minimum level. Inactive, we are talking about those items are moving slowly or move very slow. That means that item's requirement is less during the production. Some are waste, that we have to take care, it should be minimized. If it is the inactive item is the high value, we should take care about that. If it is the low value, it is okay. It does not affect in the profit, but affect in the profit, but it will be the very less. Waste, we have to minimize it. Surplus, that means the maximum we should not keep in our the stock. Scrap, we should not keep time to time that should be disposed with the value. And those items are absolute. That means those are not required. Somehow few items we are using for our the production, maybe that type of the finished goods right now we are not producing. So related items are maybe obsolete, or we are not using that types of the item. So these things we have to minimize to the level to minimize our the cost or loss. To maintain the overall investment in inventory at the lowest level, consistent with the operating requirements. So we have to consider the consistent requirement with our the operation, and we have to minimize by investing the inventory. To exercise the economics in ordering, obtaining, and the storage of the materials. So in the economic value, in the view of the economic value of the items, so storage of the materials. So we have to think about that, how much to be stored and how much to be used. If we are stored in a more item, so money involved with that to be involved, and that to be that money will be spent for that inventory. Now we are moved to the definition of the inventory. An inventory can be defined as stock of goods which is held for the purpose of future use or sale. So when the question of the sale, it may be finished goods, or maybe we can purchase the material and then sell as a middleman or as a distributor or the stockist. Stockist and distributor, they can purchase the material and they can sell. Ultimately, it is to the customer. That is the one way. And another way, if we consider about the production, then we are purchase the material for making the another product to produce the finished goods. The stock of goods may be kept in the following form: raw material, partially semi-finished products, finished products, and spare parts, etc. So it is directly we are keeping in our stock that material directly in the form of the raw material, or maybe in the semi-finished. Semi-finished means which product we can directly sell, or we can use that or produce the another product. When it is used to produce the another product, then it is the semi-finished. And when it is directly we can sell out, then it is a finished goods. Spare parts, sometimes maybe it is the semi-finished, sometimes it is the finished. When the spare parts is using to make a machine, then it is a semi-finished. For repair and maintenance, when the company is selling to the market or the customer, then it is a semi-finished. Classification of the inventory. Classification of inventory. We can classify the inventory in a first three model. One is the elementary model, model with the price break, and model with restrictions. Elementary model, that is the two part. One is the deterministic, known as the demand. In this case, demand is non-deterministic model. So whatever the raw materials or the semi-finished products we need to prepare the finished goods, that we know. That's why this is the deterministic model. And another elementary model, there is another is the probabilistic model. So we do not know the exactly demand, that is we know the estimated demand, that is the expected demand we can say. Price break model is there, a model with the restriction. These two we are not concerned, we are concerned about this, the first elementary model, these two. Basics of the inventory control. There is the few definition and terminologies that you have to understand that the terms very clearly, otherwise we cannot enter into the our basic model. First we have to learn and understand the things. First, inventory related cost. That is the cost which is related to the inventory. Inventory means item related cost, that is the inventory cost, or we can call it the inventory related cost. Classification of inventory related cost defined as: first one, purchase or the production per item. What is the cost of an item, or during the production, what is the effective cost of a per item? That is the cost of the item, that is we are denoted by the P. P is the rate of an item, that means the per unit price of the per unit item. This is the effective price. Cost associated with an item, whether it is manufactured or purchased. When it is the manufacturing item, so we have to calculate, that is the effective price of that item. But when we are purchasing, after purchase, few costs are related to that. Adding that, we can calculate the item cost. The purchase price will be considered when discounts are allowed for any purchase above a certain quantity. That means we have to calculate the effective price, because we are considering that. We are not calculating the quantity discount or price discount. We are not calculating, we are considering the effective price after discounting. What are the price is we are getting, that price we are considering. Ordering or the replenishment or the setup cost. Ordering or replenishment is the same thing. That means replace the previous one, we are placing the order. That is the ordering cost in simple way, or we can call it the setup cost. Here this is denoted by C3 or C0 or CO. We are not considering here the CS, because that CS we are using for the shortage cost. That is the another cost is there. That time we are using that notation. Here we are using the C3 or C0 or CO. We can call it the ordering cost or replenishing cost. The cost related to replenishing the inventory is known as the ordering cost. All the costs related to processing the order and placing the order, and also receiving and inspection cost, etc. That means when you are placing the order, that means in simple way, if we considering that those people are involved to placing and discussing the, when they are negotiation, during that whatever the cost is there, that means telephone calls, electric bill, sending the email through the computer, that person is involved, that portion of the salary of that person, that we are considering is effective with this ordering, that we are considering as a ordering cost. If he moved to the company to negotiate with that. That is the transportation. That means from office to that office, that conveyance is also included with that. So that is we are considering as a fixed rupee or the percentage. That is the ordering cost. That is the fixed for that particular placing the order. Carrying or holding cost. That means to carry when that the goods received after placing the order, that transportation cost mainly, and other cost also related to that with the terms of holding. One term is the carrying, another is calling the holding. That means to hold the items, what are the cost is related to that, and during the carrying, that is the freight inward cost when we are that the supplier sending that the material through the transport, that transportation cost is involved with that, and that is we are denoted as the C1 or CC carrying cost, or sometimes it is denoted as a CH, that is the holding cost. The cost related to maintain the stock of the inventory level is known as the holding cost. That part I am coming. The carrying or holding costs directly proportional to the quantity to keep in stock and the time for which an item is held in the stock. Suppose when you are holding the item in a warehouse, that warehouse may be rented, so that proportionately at this, that is the known as the holding cost in the inventory level stock. Maybe that warehouse we purchase by borrowing the money from the bank, so that amount interest will be involved to that. So during this calculation of that, we are considering a percentage of the item cost to calculate that. Now the cost represented as a rupees per unit per year. What is the cost is involved to the holding cost or the carrying cost, that we are considering the percentage of the item cost or interest rate, and with the interact with the item cost, we are considering the percentage. And whatever the costs are related to the carrying cost. What is the cost of the capital? That means it is, we are talking about for purchasing the material, we are borrowing the money from the bank. So that money's interest is included to that. That interest means it is related to the capital. That's why it is known as the cost of the capital. Cost of the people. When we are keeping the item in a warehouse, that warehouse look after by a employee or the people, that cost involved to that. That's why it is known as the cost of the people. Cost of the place, that warehouse may be in rented, or to maintain that the warehouse cost is there. That's why it is known as the cost of the space. Cost of the power, whatever the electricity maintenance is related to the warehouse, that is the cost of the power. Another cost also it is related to that, cost of the special facilities. Suppose the special item which is we are keeping in our the air conditions, under the air conditions or under the chillers, or also we are keeping in a dust free environment. So to keep that special type of item, that cost related to that is the special cost. That means we are giving the special facilities to that item, that particular item cost is involved. That is the cost of special facilities. Cost of pilferage, that means if few part of the items or few items is stolen, that price also involved to the carrying and holding, because it is basically the cost are holding cost. These portion most of the are the holding cost. Carrying cost is also there, that is the freight when it is transportation cost, but most of the cases is here it is the holding part of the holding the item. So combining this, it is sometimes it is known as the carrying cost or the holding cost. And cost of the obsolescence. Obsolescence means some item may be not used right now because that is not required to produce that item. That means that type of the item is right now produced by the company. That's why that item is not required. So that percentage or portion for the obsolete item, we are considering the percent of that. So during the calculation of this, we are considering the percentage of the product cost. If carrying cost is C1 is given as a percentage P of an average inventory I, this is the average percentage of the price P. I is the interest or the percentage we are calling. The carrying or holding cost can be expressed as C1 is equal to I into P. I, if we call it the rate or the sometimes it is called it the item cost, and this is called the percentage. But previously we notice in our notation is that P is the price of the item and I is the interest or the percentage we can call it. So C1 is equal to I into P. We are considering the part of the price of the item. Shortage or stock out cost. That means during the production, if we found from the production department, they are placing the order requisition. Basically, they are place their requisition to the stores for that product. If the product is not available, so production to be stopped for that particular shifting. Those are the workers that are the idle, and at the same time, whatever the product is producing, that is the finished goods, it is produced to supply to the customer. There is the some agreement is there. They have to supply that the product that within the delivery date. If it is not delivered within that date, that means it is involved the goodwill and also involved the loss. If it is repeating, that is the delivery is not done within the delivery date, so customer leave that company and move to the other company. That's why they are losing that the goodwill. At the same time, they are losing that the profit. It is moved to the loss. That the necessary costs that the contribute to shortage cost are involved. Loss of the customer goodwill, cost of the losing of the customer, already discussed. Loss of the profit associated with not delivering the product. That means unless until we deliver the product to the customer, we cannot get the profit. That means we are losing our the profit. That shortage cost is not easy to calculate, but we can easily calculate our the profit or loss. That if it is not delivered to the customer, so we can easily calculate it. But when the company is losing that the goodwill, that is also the not good for that company. So usually shortage costs are given as a large value to minimize the occurrence of the shortage in a planning. So we have to plan for the inventory control that shortage never be arises. That we have to do in our the planning stage, that we can avoid the shortage. And that shortage cost is this denoted as the C2 or CS. Shortage is denoted as C2 or CS. Demand. Demand is denoted by D. Demand means what is the amount of quantity we require basically in annually. Amount of quantity required in a particular period of the time is known as the demand in the period of the time. Basically in this model, most of the cases we are considering the 1 year, but sometimes we can also consider the 6 months or 3 months, but most of the cases we are considering the 1 year. So amount of the quantity required in a particular period of time is known as the demand in the period of the time. The demand pattern of a commodity or item may be deterministic or probabilistic. That is the two model we already go through, that deterministic model and the probabilistic model. So from the deterministic we know how much quantity we need, but probabilistic model we have to find out how much to be need or how much to be demanded, that we have to calculate from our expected demand. In case of the deterministic quantity, demand are known for future use. In case of the probabilistic, the demand over a certain period of time is uncertain, but its pattern can be determined by a known probability distribution. So for this example, little bit I can say about when the paper boy or those are the selling the bread in that the small stores, from there the past selling they are keeping that the bread in their shop, and also paper boy also purchase the paper, for that the fixed customer also the some are the floating. So from the past statistics or the data, they fixed that the expected number of papers they can purchase or the bread they can purchase. Ordering cycle, the time period between the two successive placement of the order is known as the ordering cycle. The placement of order is known as the ordering cycle. That means we are placing a order, first order, and we are placing the second order. Suppose in the first month, in the January we are placing an order, and April we are placing an order. So in between the time gap, what are the time gap is there, that is known as the ordering cycle. That time gap, so that cycle is known as the ordering cycle. From that we can calculate how much order we are placed in a year. Time horizon, that is another term, the planning period over which the inventory level is to be controlled is known as the time horizon. In which period of the time you are controlling the inventory level, that is known as the time horizon. Lead time or the delivery lag, that means after placing the order and we are receiving the order, that means our supply the material to us after placing the order, that is called the lead time. In the agreement or when they are placing the order, in the letter it is mentioned what is the maximum delivery date. It may be sometimes more, but before that supplier supply that. So after placing the order, suppose I am placing the order in the 20th and receive the material in the 30th. So what is the time difference is that is called the lead time. The time gap between the placing of the order and the actual receiving the order is known as the lead time. Buffer or the safety stock. The normally demand and lead time are uncertain and cannot be predetermined completely. So sometimes it is happen that is the lead time maybe fail. So it is not always, we cannot determine that the lead time. So to observe the variation in demand and the lead time, some extra stock is kept. That means if it is not delivered into the within the delivery date, suppose I am placing the order and the order delivery date is mentioned in the order. If it is not delivered within the date, we are expecting that the materials will be delivered and we can start out the production. If it is not that, so from the past record, we can find out what is the maximum lead time. That is the delayed of the lead time we can find out. It may be the 3 days, 4 days. So that 4 days stock we have to keep in our the inventory. That means in stores we have to keep. If may be delayed the delivery, then we cannot produce the finished good. That means production to be hampered. So that time we have to keep that 3 or 4 days material in our the stock. That is the buffer or the safety stock. Mathematically, buffer stock B equal to maximum lead time. That means normal lead time is there. So when they are failed to deliver, so that maximum lead time we will get from our the past data from the normal lead time. Suppose in the during the failure of the delivery of the, so from that we can find out, suppose instead of the 10 it is 15. That is the maximum delayed delivered date is the 15, but normally it is by the terms and condition it is 10. So it is, we can say that is the 5 days into the demand per day. So every day how much the demand we have, that means a requirement in our the stock to be kept, or we can say in the production we need that much quantity for our the production per day. So that is, we can say LE. That difference we are calling is the LE into D. D is our the demand per day. That this D, and previously we discussed that D to D is different. LE is the effective lead time, D is the demand per day. This is also in notation we can write L minus MT star into D, where M is the largest integer, L by T star. T star is the production cycle time. So that T star will be clear when we are considering the model. Number of items, more than one item or the commodity are involved in the inventory system is the number of items. The number of items held in inventory affect the situation when these items compete for the limited floor space or the limited total capital. So whatever the items involving to produce a finished goods, that is the item. That item also known as the commodity involved to that our inventory system. So how many items we need to produce the different production, also the items we need for the consumable. That means repair and maintenance item also we need in the factory level. Also office consumable goods also is there. That is also under the items in the inventory column. That item also we have to consider. That is the stationery goods also. It is included in this. And this is also considered as a capital item. Reorder level, ROL. The level between the maximum and the minimum stock at which the purchasing or the manufacturing activities must start for replacement is known as the reorder level, ROL, or the reorder point. The level between the maximum and the minimum stock at which, so when it is decreasing the stock, that is the mention is there in our database or in the bin card. This is the minimum level of the particular item. When it is come to the minimum, that is maximum is there, we cannot keep the more than item in weight or the number or in a volume, whatever the item we are using according to our unit. So maximum and minimum is there. When it is reached to the maximum, we are not placed to the order, or when it is reached in the minimum level, we are placing on the order. So that is the ROL, reorder level, or we can call it the reorder point, ROP. This means that as soon as the stock or inventory reaches a level LED, that is we already calculated in there, that is the effective lead time and the demand per day, we place an order. We call this is ROL or ROP, and it is given by the ROL is equal to LE into D, effective lead time into D. That is we are keeping our the minimum level of the inventory. In the case when we have to maintain a buffer stock B, that means when fail the lead time, that means delivery, that time we are also taking a buffer stock, that is known as the B, we already discussed, and place an order when the stock level reaches the B plus LED. That means this is our the minimum stock level, reorder level stock, and also we are considering the buffer stock. So adding these two, that means this is our the minimum stock. If we consider this way, this is the our minimum stock, and this should be the our buffer stock. That means when the stock is reached ROL plus buffer, that's time we have to place our the order, and B and place an order when the stock level reaches B plus LED. Then ROL is given by the ROL equal to B plus LED. It's repeated page. Benefits of the inventory control. It enables the material to produced in the economic quantities. It eliminates delays in production caused by the non-available of the required materials. Whatever we learn from that, we can conclude that it works as a check on the over accumulation of inventories, and thereby results in the minimum investment consistent with the production requirements. Fourth point, it reduced inventory losses caused by inadequate inspection of incoming materials and losses due to obsolescence, deterioration, waste, and theft while in storage. That is also we discussed this part. If the any material is obsolete, that means not used furthermore, and it is in a stores, deterioration, that means which is going to the damage or some wastage, and somewhat stolen from the stores. So that we have to reduce, and that is cause the loss of the company. It ensures the proper executions of policies covering the procurement. Procurement means placing the order, and use of materials. It also facilitates timely adjustment with changing conditions in the market. Inventory models with the details, deterministic demand, that we will discuss in the next class. These models, whatever the models under this the deterministic model, then we discuss the probabilistic model, and that we will discuss in the next class.